it's rare that you find a company that is so versatile, highly skilled classical dancers, beautiful movers, excellent contemporary technique and movement qualities. They have it all. So this is very rewarding to work with as a material. And I have a very nice feeling in the studio. I feel like they are giving a lot of themselves and contributing to the piece.
Rumi is a poet who is quite popular in the West, but in the Orient he's a very important figure, a little bit like Shakespeare for us. And what really is important in his writing is his perspective on humanity and what it means to be human. And I find this to be a very good base on to which to build a piece. So the piece is not about anything, it's not about Rumi or his poetry, but it's infused with it. I'm very used to working both with classical music and with contemporary composers. I've worked a lot with David Lang, an American composer, and this spring I worked with a young composer, also American, Ryan Francis. And I like to collaborate with composers for dance. I think it's very important. And Max Richter is very known. I like his colors very much. I thought that they would suit my choreography very well.
I use the word colors to describe something like tone and direction and substance. What something signifies and what something means.
Interpretation, I somehow am drawn less to the meaning of that word. But perspective, I think, is always interesting, somebody's point of view. I doubt if there is anything such as originality. I mean, we all draw from our lives and what we have experienced and what we've seen. It's inevitable. There is no such thing as something that just pops up from nowhere. It has a whole history, whether we know it or not. So I think, for sure, a unique perspective is interesting when it comes to art, but true originality, I'm not so sure it exists.
As I've grown up and I've worked for many, many years now. I've worked for 12 years as a choreographer exclusively, and in the beginning I definitely had more steps to give and I was excited by that, but pretty quickly that became boring and repetitive and exhausted. And now I work with the dancers more, like I want to get to know them and to find out what their bodies like to do and also what personalities they have, which is always visible through their movement. So I try to guide them and maybe like steer them in a direction, and eventually it's always uniquely my language anyway. It's somehow, in the end, very cohesive and clearly something that is my universe. I think my work has a great degree of softness to it, and it's not about effects or provocation. It's about subtle things and nuances and humanity.